Nord is going to use his main action.
To do the Joestar family technique?
No.
Okay.
No. The other yes, it's not the secret technique. It's just the normal technique.
It's the not secret technique. It's the avert technique, yeah.
Nord is going, as a base ability of the Winter Word, Nord is going to essentially summon ice tools. So he's going to be, like, coating his arms in, like, a, sort of like ice gauntlets. And also, his horns grow... You remember the original art I showed of Nord? Well, his normal horns are, like, smaller than that. More manageable. Now they get to the big, rammy horns.
Yeah, like Velkana, with the where she grows like ice
and he's just going to wait for this thing to get near him.
Alrighty, so you're gonna hold your action to attack? Well, unless your action was already used on what you just did.
Well, I used my action. That's okay, the main action, unfortunately.
Alrighty then, on its turn, it sort of lopes towards you using its two kind of bat-like wings to pull it forward and its rear legs to push it forward, and runs towards you. I don't believe it gets an attack because it was 60 feet away, and it can only move 40 feet. So, one action? Yeah, one action. Sorry, Tyler was asking me something. So it gets all up in your grill by the time it's your go. What do you do?
When it charges at me, Nord essentially... when it's getting at him, about to charge, pounce, whatever, Nord takes both of his hands and just tries to smash its head between both of them.
Alrighty.
Oh, I'm gonna give this. What's its AC?
Its AC is, I believe. Let me take a look. It is 7, so it's not too hard to hit. It's very big. It's just kind of scaly. You hit it nice. 1 damage. Congratulations.
Would this be considered a worthy foe, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, just making sure.
Alright, so, is that the end of your turn?
I believe so. Action for a day, make a single blow. I can't do, like, loosening God's teeth after I did it.
No, not after you've already rolled. The point of loosening God's teeth is you are gambling on hitting it, basically.
I know. But so it's something to keep in mind.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yep. Yeah, that's the end of my turn. I can't do anything else.
Alrighty then. On its go, it is going to make 3 attacks as it just sort of savages you with its claws and bites.
Okay.
Oh, so I need to do one more. So it's 1 hit, most likely a miss, and then another hit. So that's 2 hits. That'll be 2d8 plus... Oh no, hold on, not 2d8. 2d10, sorry. 2d10 plus 2. Wow, it rolled.
Damage.
So it did 2 damage to you. It doesn't manage to actually really strike home with its attacks all that much.
Okay. I'm going to loosening God's teeth, this poor stupid animal.
Right, okay. Go for it.
No, you don't do this. So it's 7. Hopefully this hits.
Woohoo!
Okay, 14 straight damage.
Damn! Yeah. Kapow! You take your icy fists, you smash it down on its head, and its head hits the snow, cracking the earth beneath it. And its skull is kind of split open. You can kind of see brains and skull mixed together. And it is dead. You just, bam, headshot, it's dead.
No, I smashed it, like, the hands between it, and I didn't, even when I was mauling it, I didn't let go, and I just pressed in afterwards.
Oh, Jesus. There's some squelching, and it's, yeah, it's pretty gross. You got arms covered in giant, brain and blood. Yeah, the thing is just lying there dead. You can tell, by the way, from the first hit you did that did 1 damage did almost nothing to it. Like, you get the feeling it could have taken a lot more of those hits. But this hit, for sure not.
Oh, I'm gonna, like... I'm gonna see if I can scavenge anything from it, honestly. Anything neat.
Alrighty, so you want to, when you say scavenged, how do you go about that? Because it's definitely not carrying any gear, I can tell you that.
No, I mean scavenge parts off of it.
Right, yeah, so do you...
Any interesting materials, you know,
you've got the
wealth
wealth word. I'm like, but how are you going to have a sharp implement? Oh yeah, you're a wealth word god, so boom, you've got a knife.
Well, okay, I'm a wealth god, and also I can make ice tools. Just
Very
at
nice.
will. So, like, the gauntlets, just imagine, like, the fingers are, like, clawed at the end, and I'm just using that to cut up.
Alright, let me just check
sharpen it. Oh.
Yeah, also Tyler's pointing out you could have got knives for basically Amazon Prime.
I can get better knives. The ice knives suck.
That is true. You can get actual metal knives from Tyler. Or at least stone knives that are as good as metal knives.
Well, actually, these objects... Yeah, simple fit... Actually, yeah, no, it doesn't say they're fragile that I create. They're just... full tools.
Ah, here we are. Okay. So, I will let you choose what you get, because carving... Well, actually, no, first of all... I'll say you've got the tools you need, so I'll give you a +4 to this check, which is quite a generous thing, but roll me a wisdom check with a +4, because you're doing a survival check to... Actually, first of all, let you choose what you want to carve, actually, before you do that. So, would you like to try and carve...
I think the head's just gone.
Yeah, actually, I will say you're mostly looking for the plate then. So yeah. So go ahead and try and carve its, like, plate, basically. It's sort of, exoskeleton.
So, should I use...
It's a
I'm gonna...
check with +4.
Okay.
Just because you're well equipped,
+4.
you've got, like, a good tool for the job. Thanks to Tyler Prime.
Oh, no, unfortunately.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of experience carving animals. Like, presumably, if you were a god on another planet, presumably you came from another planet at some point. Who knows what fates fell that planet. But as a god, you haven't had a lot of opportunity to really flex your survival skills. This is the kind of thing mortals do. And so you carve it and you kind of make a mess of it. And you're like, yeah, this is probably not usable after I've been stabbing it for like half hour. But you do definitely feel like these things have gear you could use. Like, you could probably make pretty good stuff.
There's something here. Oh, just taking a glance at that flower again. Still the same?
Flower's still the same. Flower's done nothing. Just sitting there.
I can guard 3 flower, it's fine.
So?
It's not growing out of my eye. So yeah, I just continue on. Just like, you know, take some of... Nah, I don't need to take some of the meat and eat it. That's...
Alrighty, the journey continues. Let me just check. Oh yeah, there's one thing I really should check, which is my version of the main map. Ah, interesting.
Is it still the same day, or...?
I would say that maybe a day or two have passed by this point. You're really only a couple of days in, because actually I've got a question. That depends on, do you need to sleep and... Oh yeah, you've got all the food you need.
I do. I need to sleep. I can make shelter. I just can't. Just need the rest, so it's not continuous.
So you basically summon a tent out of just nothingness, presumably. For you
I make like an igloo shelter, probably.
How? So do you do that with your wealth word, or?
Combination of wealth and ice.
Okay. Oh, I forgot you've got the ice abilities. Yes. But yeah, you're mostly immune to the cold as well, I believe. In fact, you're 100% immune to the cold. So it's...
I am 100% immune to cold and fire.
Excellent. Cool. Yeah. So the only food you see around that is not the food you're making are these berries, and you travel through. I will draw on the map. Okay, and then you travel basically like this way through, and it takes you you basically go for a few more days searching through this place. And as you get near to the end of that line I just drew, you see that there's a tree outside of the forested area that looks a lot taller than the others. And it's like you can see it's kind of like you can see the top of this tree. Kind of, when you go to high ground, you can see it above the rest of the forest, and it seems to be clearly in some plain outside of it. Do you head in that direction, or do you circle back?
Yeah, I'll head in that direction, but I just want to make sure, like looking at the flower through that tree, nothing's changed, it's just kind of giving me a boost.
Yeah, so far, for the entirety of your journey, you've been journeying for basically 4 days. Nothing has happened with the flower. The only thing you've noticed is that your sleeps have been a little bit deeper. Like, you maybe need to sleep a little bit. You feel like your body needs that full 8 hours of rest or whatever at night. Instead of, sometimes waking up after 5 hours or 6 hours, you need a nice long full sleep. And you have relatively dreamless sleeps as well.
Not that I would know what dreaming is like.
Yeah, pardon?
Not that Nord would know what that's like, considering he got this day one.
Yes,
he's not really sure what normal sleep's like.
Yeah, you remember
so he's
that...
just like, oh, this is just how life's like.
Long ago, you remember that at some undefined amount of time before you were formless and drifting, you had a corporeal form, most likely. And you remember that sleeping is a thing that happens, and that dreams are a thing that happens. Those things have not been happening. Now, to be fair, it's not like people dream every single night, but you haven't had any dreams. So... yeah, you go along towards this giant tree, and once the tree line here ends, there's kind of a short plain, maybe a few miles across, that leads to this tree. And you see it's a big old... let me just check something as well. You see it's a very large, unusually large, clearly supernatural tree.
Yeah, something else I kind of forgot to mention. Nord's probably been nowadays, he's probably been trying to talk and see if the flower reacts at all. Like maybe there's something else to it.
What kind of things do you say to the flower?
Sort of things like, what do you want? What are you doing here? What do you do exactly? Who are you?
Right.
I'm Nord.
Yeah, you're just like, who are you? What? Flower does nothing.
Okay, it's just a flower. Huh. Weird. Well, it's not sapient, I guess. Not in a way I can tell. Just continues onto the tree then.
Yep, continue onto the tree. And the tree is big, tall, thick. It's like a sort of a clearly supernaturally large, very clearly supernaturally large. Kind of like a sort of Legend of Zelda Deku tree sort of size, There is an opening where, you have a hollowed out area near the roots. Well, there's a big one of those. And basically right in front of this large open alcove between the roots, it looks clearly like a sort of archway shaped thing. And it does lead to a dead end. There's a very kind of, it is an alcove. It's not a tunnel. It's just a space. But in front of that space is a root that comes out of the ground. And it leads into a sort of bowl shape. It's like very... clearly, a root does not go into this shape. It is like a small pedestal that goes into a wooden bowl. There is nothing in the bowl.
I put food in the bowl.
Nothing happens when you put food in the bowl.
I wanna look around. I wanna examine the walls. Is there any the inside of this area? Does it look like there's anything that could be hiding in here? Anything that's been moving around?
Roll me another perception check. I'm really giving your wisdom score a run for its money this time.
I sure wish this was... I usually have high wisdom scores, but I'm gonna change it up this time. That was a mistake.
Yeah, well, it's, when you're doing survival, you're going to be making a lot of wisdom checks.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Yeah,
I expected as much. Yeah, it's a fail.
Okay, I mean, it looks, from, bare eye examination, it just looks like a very unusually smooth inside of a tree. If you didn't know better, you would think that it was artificial, but it's clearly just, you imagine there's no sapient creatures around to have carved the inside of this in such a specific way. And it is just a smooth, deeply inlaid alcove in the tree. And there's no creatures, no burrows, no insects in here.
Oh, this altar-like thing.
Yes, which is sort of just outside of the alcove.
Do I notice any... Can I, look around for any inscriptions? Just completely blank?
Yeah, there's no inscriptions on it. It is just an inscrutable, sort of, bowl.
Okay.
Now with some food in it because you put it there.
Yeah, I put it there. I thought maybe it wanted an offering or something. I'm like, I'll be kind. It's a gift, because I'm gonna go in that tree regardless.
It does have the strange kind of positioning of... It does have the strange kind of positioning that you would expect for a offering bowl to be in. From what you're looking at, your instinct of that, I try to put an offering in. It does look like that kind of thing, but, nothing happened when you put food in it.
Alright, I'm gonna try and go inside.
I mean, you go inside, and it's... I assumed you went inside from the description of you investigating it, actually.
What? Okay, yeah, I assumed so too, but then you said I was outside, so I got a little...
No.
turned
No,
around.
what I mean is you go back outside to look at the altar. Yeah, no, you go...
Okay.
Yeah, you go inside the room. Yep, there's nothing in this alcove.
No, it's still the same. Nothing's changed.
And there's no hints or anything. This is the situation where, boy, would a knowledge Godbound be super useful.
Sure would. I'll go out. I'll make like a mental map of this. There's a weird tree there.
Yes, I will draw a little cute tree where the tree was. Ooh, oh, no, I'm bad at drawing trees. There we go, there's your tree.
Oh, like it's absolutely towering compared to the forest I've been in.
Yes.
So if I were to welcome back, Pepsi. Okay, so how slow do the branches start coming up that I could possibly grab as like footholds and stuff?
It's about 60 foot before the lowest branches out and stuff begin.
Okay.
And then it goes really high up. Yeah, and it's not as tall as a skyscraper, but it is very big.
Later. I'll move away for now.
Okie doke. What direction do you head in now? You can see that there's the far north at the very edge of your perception. There's the North Pole, basically, where there's the terrain gets more and more thickly snowy up north. There's lots of grass peeking through the snow down here, but to the north, yeah, it reaches off into ice fields.
Nah. You know what? I'm gonna... 1, I go to the pole. 2, I go south. Okay, guess I'm going to the pole.
Alrighty, you go north to the pole.
I'm at least gonna go, like, around here to this edge and decide. Get to the farthest point of my land, technically.
Okay, so you go... let me just check something, I wonder... Hey, Pepsi! You're online. Should we stop Pepsi's turn to see if he intercepts you?
Oh, yes, God, yes, I'll get the roll 20.
I was hoping this would happen.